Today we will begin with 9E, and that's the only exercise we will do today. So we're going to start with 9E and make our way through the exercise. So 9E is sample proportion. So we're going to learn some new mathematics here, but it's going to be contrasted with what we've been talking about, right? So we've really emphasised to you guys, this is important, that X bar is the mean of a sample, and that should be indicative of the mean of the population. Right? P hat is going to be the proportion of the sample, and that's going to be indicative of P, which is the proportion of the population. So let's get straight into it. We have a sample of 10 people finds that 3 have blue eyes. Okay, so part A, state the observed value of P hat. Alright, so P hat is going to be the number of people that have blue eyes divided by the number of people sampled. 3 on 10, we've got 0.3. A proportion is always going to be a value between 0 and 1, like probability. Alright? And so we're going to suppose that this P hat is indicative of the population of which we're sampling, right? Part B, find the mean and standard deviation of P hat. So in our notes, this is what I've got written. The mean is going to equal P, and the standard deviation is going to be P times Q on N. So the mean is going to be 0.3, and the standard deviation is going to be the square root of 0.3 times 0.7 on 10. Okay, P is 0.3, so 1 take away 0.3 will be 0.7, right, in this formula. And then divided by N, how many people did we sample? We sampled 10, that's the number we began. Alright, so that's part A, part B, and then part C. Is P hat normally distributed? So there's 2 conditions it needs to satisfy, so that's written at the bottom, that's the bottom dot point you've got there. And the first is that N times P is greater than or equal to 5, and the second is that N times Q, where Q is 1 take P, right? The inverse probability is also greater than or equal to 5. It needs to satisfy both of those. If it doesn't satisfy one, then we cannot say that P hat is normally distributed. P is normally distributed. So let's calculate it. We've got P is 0.3, and so if we do 0.3 times 10, we've got 3. All right? 3 is not larger than 5, so it doesn't satisfy this contingency. All right? You would find if you were to evaluate this one, it does, but because it doesn't satisfy both, no, P hat is not normally distributed. It's not normal. It's abnormal. Excellent. So that's what we're starting with. That's 9E, pretty short, sharp, shiny one. Let's do it.